Sometimes the reason why Africans are suffering economically, moving from one economic hardship to the other, is because we have deviated from the footprints of our ancestors. We have deviated from the things our ancestors wanted us to do. That the labor of our heroes is now in vain. That the reason why we are suffering in Africa today is that Africa has left what they are supposed to be doing something else. And because of that, we're doing copying and pasting. That we're copying the other countries, or copying other nationalities, and trying to emulate what they are doing in Africa, and it's not working. So it means that we have to go back to our roots. Africans need to go back to their roots and search where the problem emanated from. And if we do this, we'll definitely move in the right direction. As a teacher of African spirituality, I will come into this and say that the moment we adopted foreign systems, it is not doing us any good or favor. Instead, it has placed us where we're not supposed to be. So we need to go back and embrace our roots. We need to embrace our roots. The reason why Africans are suffering today, Africans are trying to follow dangerous routes to move to foreign countries in the search of greener pastures, is because we don't respect the land of Africa. We don't follow the footprints of our ancestors. Our ancestors laid a solid and a good foundation for us to follow, but we deviated from those lines and we moved to doing things that we adopted as systems. And today, those things are working against us. It's high time that Africans will come back to their roots and embrace their culture, embrace oneness, embrace unity. Africans that are staying outside Africa, don't forget home. Always invest back home. That is why we're saying that don't be seen as African spirituality as a voodoo practice. That you did a voodoo practice in your hometown doesn't mean that that's how it is circulated in all African countries. Here on my channel, I talk about Igbo spirituality. We're teaching about the pure and the purity of using African spirituality to deal with every life issue. So that is why I'm making this as a point of reference, that wherever you are as an African, you're living in the diaspora, you're living in Asia, you live in any part of the world, don't forget home. Make sure you're always sending something back home to make Africa to become what it's supposed to be. That the stipend or the token you're sending back home is going to help to rebuild home, because there's no place like home. One day, the scales will fall out of your eyes. You realize that there's no place like home. So that is why I'm making this announcement, that if you're an Africa living in the diaspora, make sure that your monies are being sent back home. I know how difficult it is for you, those ones that are staying in the United Kingdom, in London, in the Europe, in some parts of the world where life is kind of a drudgery, where you have to work 10 times your human efforts in order to make a living. I know how difficult it is for you there, but in as much as that, don't forget home. You have so many financial channels that you can use to send in money back home. Western Union money transfer, World's Remit, MoneyGram. All these are channels that you can use to send something back home. As a spiritualist, I encourage you to always send something that we can use to work on your behalf. That wherever you are, you are not going to struggle much. I keep telling you that the white man used his own spirituality to build technology, and they're benefiting from it so far. But why is it that Africans are always seeing their own spirituality as diabolical? Someone told me that their own ancestors, their things they did are fetish, this, that. I said, no, it's a lie. That's falsehood. You need to send something back home, send into your spiritualists. Let them be praying on your behalf. Let them be sending. Everything is airborne. Don't always misunderstand this. Everything is airborne. You cannot see network, but it's actually there. Just like the data subscription that you have. You cannot see data subscription, but when you recharge your phone, you get it inside your phone. It's there. That is how it is with spirituality. You cannot see it, but it's there. So if you're the type that you're always doubting about, if you're the type that you're always doubting about spiritual work, I always tell you to come close. Come close. Let's teach you things are happening. Let me give you a scenario. Day before yesterday, I had a dream of my cousin, one of my cousins. I saw him in my dream that there was a funeral ceremony, funeral party, or funeral ceremony where people were coming and paying their condolences and all that. My dream, I saw my maternal cousins. This is not, I'm not joking with this. And yesterday I saw on Facebook one of my maternal cousins lost his wife. So who is going to tell me that African spirituality is not real? Who is trying to make us have that disbelief? Hmm? So if something like that was shown to me and later it happened, it shows you that something that the moment you become a spiritualist, those things will be shown to you glaringly, openly. Hmm? That the normal sleep that you sleep when you go to bed at night is not actually sleep. It's an information gathering center. Hmm? So if something like that was shown to me and the next day it happened, it shows you that something is beyond the things that are beyond normal. Hmm? So that is why I'm asking you and urging you to always make sure you align yourself with your spiritual forces. That if you're an African, wherever you live, you cannot do away with your spiritual forces. Hmm? If you're an African, you cannot do away with your spiritual forces. They are your backup. Don't live like those people that don't believe in God, that say that God is not real. Hmm? Then they have a financial system that takes care of them. But remember, as it's taking care of them, they recognizes your own they recognize you that you are not there, you're not from there. So our people have an adage that says, it's the firewood that grew up in your land that knows how to cook the best meal. So always take this as a point of reference. What after watching this video, come close and think about this deep. uh, you cannot be taken well care of than the people that owns the place. You understand? So what you should do for me, if you're watching this video and you enjoy watching this video, please try to subscribe to my channel. And if you've done that, don't hesitate to share this video. Share this video, place your hand in the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you're going to be informed about it. Then share this video so that this video will go viral. So like I stated, and as I'm ending this video, so that is why I'm saying this in summary. Don't just sit there and say these are African people and their and superstitious beliefs and all that. Don't just do that conclusion. Don't just sit idly and say Africans and these their superstitious beliefs and all that. Make it a point of duty to always take spirituality serious. Like I gave you a case study that I had a dream 3 days ago, whereby in that dream I saw myself in a funeral ceremony where I saw many of my maternal cousins, and I was asking myself in that dream, is there any of my maternal cousin that is dead? I was asking in that dream, and I saw so many, like the faces I saw there were people that I know. And then that was yesterday, I saw on my Facebook page where one of my cousins was displaying that his wife died on the 18th of this January. So I wasn't surprised because I was already notified, but the only thing that maybe the notification didn't come earlier, I would have even helped to pray to forestall it. You understand? So that is why I'm saying, for those that are always trying to doubt or trying to see African spirituality as a superstitious belief, so many people out there have been attaching some kind of negativity to African spirituality system, belief system, and I said these notions are wrong. Don't just condemn something because you don't like it. So, like I said earlier, try as much as possible to take spiritual things serious and make it a point of duty that you must come close. If you want to know about African spirituality or Igbo spirituality, like I'm from the Igbo part of Africa, I'm from Igbo land in Nigeria, that's from Africa. I teach about Igbo spirituality, but it's still the same thing. When I talk about African spirituality, it's still the same thing. I don't want to maybe start dissecting it, because the ways of our ancestors are closely related. Maybe a little deviation here and there, but it's actually the same thing. As long as it's about veneration of ancestors, as long as it's about pouring of libation and maybe speaking of positivity and seeing positivity taking shape. All these things are interconnected. Maybe a time will come in your life when you realize that whether you're from Tanzania, whether you're from Ghana, whether you're from Cameroon, whether you're from Mali, Malawi, whether you're from Zimbabwe, from Rwanda, any part of Africa you're from, that is still the same. That when we come together as one entity, we can be able to stand on our grounds and ask for God's favor. We can be able to stand on our feet and seek God's intervention, seek divine intervention in our lives, so that if something is happening, that when we're having this kind of interconnectedness amongst us, it makes it easier for someone from Rwanda to come into Nigeria to do business without being cheated, without thinking of being harmed in any or hurt in any way. It brings that closeness that we see ourselves as oneness. The same thing that someone from Cameroon goes to Chad, someone from Chad goes to Sudan. I mean, conflict in Africa will reduce when there's oneness, when there's singleness of purpose. So that is why I'm saying this, that we must speak with one voice. We must kick aside those things that have deviated us. The foreign religions didn't bring in peace. It brought this segregation. It made us to hate ourselves, to hate our brothers. We see ourselves as enemies. That is why I'm not fighting against foreign religions. But all I'm trying to say is that use your tongue to count your teeth. It hasn't done us any good or favor. Instead, it's segregating, and it is tearing away families. Let's go back to the ways of our ancestors and see where they got it wrong and help to fix it, and we continue from there. Because you can't be greater than the place that feeds you. You can't be greater than the land where you were born. You can't be greater than that land, no matter how much you've made. So in summary of this video, make it a point of duty, take whatever I said as something that is so interpersonal, and like I talked about spirituality, know about your ancestors, know about your guardian angel, that these are your spiritual forces that help to back you up wherever you are. And I said it times without number that all these things are airborne. So venerating your personal, your spiritual guide, venerating your ancestors doesn't mean that it's a diabolical practice. It's not about get rich quick scheme, whatever. It's not about you killing anybody. If you want to do those ones at extremes, I will not be the one to tell you this is it, because that's not my field. But my own field is for you to have grace and favor in everything you do, so that you see light, that wherever you are, there will be light. That light will shine upon your life and things will change for good for you. So please, if you enjoy watching this video or you want to chat me privately, you can do that on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is open for discussions. It's open for maybe you want to have an Alpha consultation. Alpha is a way to unravel what will happen or what is happening or what has happened. That is what Alpha does. It unveils, it unearths what is hidden. And it is only a diviner that is gifted with the act of divination that can unravel things through Alpha consultation. So you can do that on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 090-4011-3281. Thanks for stopping by. Yagazie.